Hi, welcome to this week's Fringe Yoga Journal. This week is Fire Week, working mainly with the core and all the organs of digestion and elimination. A great practice for springtime. Let's come down onto our backs. So starting on your backs with the hands over the solar plexus. Try to let the shoulders drop down into the mat. And let's have the knees bent, feet flat to the mat. Just take the hands and trace around your waist so that you slot your hands in behind the arch of the back. So not so low down that you're under the tailbone, but more around the kidneys and the lower ribs area. From here, cinch in through the ribs and cinch in through the waist so that you lightly trap the hands there behind your back. Then we're going to bring both feet up off the ground. Tapping the right toe to the ground, moving from the hip. And then the left. Trying to keep the spine in neutral and the navel drawing down towards the spine the whole time. Ribs hugging in. After 4 of these, if you want to make it a little bit more intense, we can bring the hands behind the head and lift the shoulders off. Continuing to tap alternate toes. So now we're starting to bring in all the different layers of the core. The rectus abdominis, the six-pack area. The transverse abdominis, which is like a tuba grip that goes from your hips to your ribs. And then if we start to add a little twist in now, taking the right elbow to the left knee as we tap the right toe down, and then left elbow to right knee, as we tap the other toe down. Exhale to twist and inhale to center. And here we start to bring the obliques into it as well. Navel down to spine the whole time. From there, let's give the knees a little hug in towards you. And then we'll take a rock up and down the spine to come to all fours. In all fours, spreading the fingers, we're going to take the right leg back behind. Again, hug the ribs in and feel that same cinching in around the waist that you had on your back. Lift the right leg up. We'll take the left fingers forwards and stay here if this is enough and just do the leg. Or if you feel like you can take the left arm forwards, then we can come to bird dog. On an exhale, draw the elbow and the knee together so you round the back and try to tap. Inhale to extend. Exhale, squeeze everything in and tap. Inhale to extend. Really good for working the deep stabilizing muscles of the core. One more. Good. From here, bring the hand down, bring the foot down. Let's step it back into a plank. Feel everything switch on that we've been working with. Now, if you're newer to this, you're going to scooch to the top of the toes and bring your knees down. Broaden the collarbone, sternum a little bit forward, and just take a little bend in the elbows. This doesn't need to be all the way down, and then push back up again. Keeping the tummy nice and toned, bend the elbows again, and press back up. Ideally, we're keeping the elbows over the wrists, the sternum forwards, and trying to minimize the movement in the shoulders themselves. Keep the movement in the elbows. From here, knees wide, toes together, come back into child's pose for a moment, take a few breaths. Child's pose is a great pose for massaging the ascending and descending sides of the digestive system. And as we sink into a restorative pose or a more relaxing pose, we can come back to the breath a little bit more. And that helps to soothe the nervous system, supporting digestion, assimilation and elimination. On the next inhale, let's come back to all fours and take the left leg back behind you. Lifting the left leg off the ground, crawling the right fingers forwards if that feels okay. Maybe keep the hand there and just do the leg if this is feeling quite intense in your lower back. If your lower back feels okay, reach the right arm forwards and we'll curl and tap. And inhale to extend and lengthen. Exhale, curl and tap. Pulling everything in, inhale, extend and lengthen. One more. And bring the foot down, bring the hands down, step again into your full plank. So if full plank irritates the lower back, again, instantly let's bring the knees down and just hold here. And the chaturangas might just be a little bend and straighten. The absolute maximum we would come down would be to a 90-degree bend. So we don't want to see this at any point. Try to keep that 90-degree bend in the elbows as your maximum. One more. And again, child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, let's come up to all fours and bring the knees into alignment, so back to hip width apart. Keep the hands a little bit further forwards of your shoulders, tuck the toes and hover the knees off of the mat. And then as though you're pulling the pelvis up and back, coming into downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, feel the waist cinch in, feel the core still alert. Floor of the pelvis reaching up and back. On the next exhale, tiptoe the feet forwards. Little steps, pressing from the opposite foot as you move the other one forward. We're going to bring the toes together for today, big toes touching, but if you really feel like hip width is best for your alignment, then stay with that. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the knees and reach the arms out in front, connect the fingers. Really reach the sit bones backwards, the sternum forward. And on the next exhale, press through the heels. Bring the hands into the heart. And then palms together, drop them down to the solar plexus. Soften the shrugger muscles. Take a couple of breaths here. Using the Ujjayi breath to soothe the nervous system. On the next inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. So bending the knees, weight back into the heels, reach the arms forward and up. Here we want to feel like we're supporting the core by cinching in the waist again, drawing the navel back and keeping a nice long line from the hands to the sit bone. So it doesn't want to be tucked like this, and it also doesn't want to be bum out too much. Bring the hands into the heart, and we're going to twist to the right first, so the left elbow comes across, tapping the left elbow to the right knee. Inhale, chair. Exhale to the other side. Tap the elbow. It doesn't matter if you don't quite get there. Inhale, chair. Exhale, use your core muscles, particularly using the obliques here to help you to rotate. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist and tap. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist, and this time hold. If you need to snuggle that arm over a little bit more, than do. Press hand to hand as you rotate. Trying to watch that we're not allowing one knee to come in front of the other, and also that the hips aren't swinging off to one side. Yeah, so keeping the knees in line and watching that the hips aren't swinging off to one side. On the next exhale, de-rotate, bring the hands down to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen. Exhale, fold, leave the right foot where it is, step the left foot back. And we're going to bring the left knee down to the mat. Right hand, right thigh, take the left arm up. Hook the left elbow over the right knee and hand to hand. If this feels available, you could lift the back knee off the ground. If you're newer to this, I'd say keep the knee down. Push the top hand into the bottom and use the back of this left shoulder, drawing the shoulder blade down to try to open the ribs a little bit more to the right. One more breath there. And then de-rotate, bring the hands down to the mat. Lift the back knee off the ground and spin the back foot all the way to flat. Inhale, come up into Virya 2, Warrior 2. And then exhale, we're going to instantly change sides. So straighten out the right leg, turn the right toes in. Turn the left toes out and bend the left knee. Reaching towards the left. Left elbow rests to the left thigh. Let's take the right arm down, around in front and alongside the ear. If it feels available, maybe we can hover this left arm off. If it's too much, keep the elbow down. But as we lift off, what happens is we kick into the muscles in the side of the core, the obliques and QL. Maybe if you like, we can come into the opposition arms. This is quite a lot. Inhale, reverse warrior, lean back. Use those muscles in the waist as you go up and over. And then exhale, bring the hands down either side of the foot. Step back into a vinyasa if you want to, with or without the knees down, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, lift the chest. Press the little toenails into the mat. Downward facing dog, hips go up and back. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, open up the hip and bend the knee. Inhale, straighten out the right leg. Square the hip and draw the knee in towards the mat. Step the foot to the top of the mat and spin the back foot all the way to flat again. Up again into warrior two. And switching sides. Warrior two to the left again. Reaching forwards, forearm to thigh, right arm sweeps down, around in front and up, just as we did on the other side. Maybe making it unsupported, maybe reaching this arm in front. Inhale, reverse, lean it back. Stay with the waist, stay with that feeling of cinching in all the way around. Straighten out the left leg. And as you exhale, reach forwards. Might need to bring this back foot in a smidge to come into Trikonasana. Now triangle might be with the hand at the shin, it might be at the knee, it might be down at the ankle. It doesn't matter where it is. Find where it's right for you, somewhere that you can feel length through both sides of the waist. And then from here, little pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend in the knee. And then we'll step the feet to the top of the mat again. Back into Utkatasana, chair pose, big toe points together to begin the other side. Hands come to heart, twisting to the left first, right elbow comes across. Inhale, chair, and you should be feeling quite warm by now. This is supposed to be fiery. All of the extra blood flow in the core helps with the cleansing, helps with the detox by bringing more blood flow to the organs of elimination, such as the liver, the intestines, even the kidneys and the gallbladder. The twisting action increases that as well. Hold it to the left now, top hand pushes into the bottom. Breathe in there, maybe the gaze is down, maybe the gaze is up. And remember, we don't want to let that right knee come forwards, keep it back and keep the hips level. On the next exhale, de-rotate, bring the hands down to the mat. Gazing pose, lift the chest. Exhale to fold, stepping back on the right foot, so the left knee stays forwards. Bring the right knee down to the ground. Left hand, left thigh, taking the right arm up. And then exhale, hook it all the way over. And we can come hand to hand. If this doesn't feel good on your wrist, you can always take a fist and close around it. And if you feel like you could lift that back knee off the ground without sinking too much into the right hip. So we want to lift the right hip up, drive the right thigh up and push back through the right heel. Next exhale, de-rotate, bring the hands down to the mat. Yeah. So spinning the back foot flat, come up into two. And then switching to the opposite side, warrior two, reaching towards the right this time, elbow to thigh. Left arm comes down alongside the ear. And maybe take the elbow away from the thigh. If it doesn't feel good, just leave it very light on there, or you can just lift and lower, lift and lower. Next, inhale, reverse, going up and over. And exhale, hands come down either side of the right foot. Step back to plank. With or without the knees down, lowering chaturanga danda. Cobra or up dog. So cobra, pelvis is down, legs are down. Up dog, everything lifts up. Both of them, the shoulders are down the back. The heart pulls through and the drishti, the gaze, goes a little bit up, but you don't want to chuck your head all the way back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, open the hip and bend the knee. Inhale, straighten out the legs, square the hip. And exhale, step the foot forwards. Back foot all the way to flat, up into 2, inhale. Exhale, switching it to the other side. Reaching forwards, Parsvakonasana, side angle pose, forearm to thigh. Arm comes around alongside the ear. Making it unsupported if that feels okay. If not, just resting the elbow lightly. Keep it in the side waist and reverse. Straighten out the right leg. Reach through the right hand and tip it into Trikonasana. Maybe the hand is by the ankle, the shin, wherever it feels okay for you to take those little pulses. This right leg, try not to have it locked. So a little tiny bend, pull up the quad and feel like you're trying to drag both feet towards one another. Vira 2, inhale. Exhale, hands come down either side of the foot. And let's step back into a plank. Sternum forwards, and this time lower all the way down onto the front. Make a little pillow with the hands, release the feet and rest the head for a moment. And you can just let the hips wiggle from side to side for a couple of breaths. From here, coming into Sphinx pose, pressing down into the elbows, take your left hand behind the right elbow. Bending the right knee, reach back for your right foot. And first of all, pull the heel in towards you. So you're stretching out the quads and everything that we've done, all those long holds in chairs and lunges. From here, roll the shoulder back and kick the foot back. Opening the chest, opening the heart. And then release. Take it to the other side. Right arm comes in front. Left knee bend. Reach back for the left foot. Squeezing the heel towards the sit bone first, getting the quad stretch. And then rolling the shoulder back, kick the foot back, coming into a half bow. Releasing the foot. Again, rest the head, give the hips a little wiggle. Final back bend option. If you're newer to this, both myself and Denise are going to take the Shalabhasana option, which is a low back bend here, so it's going to strengthen. You're really trying to cinch in. Yeah, and if you want to take full bow pose where you hold both feet at the same time, then Dina and Helen are going to take that option. Full bow pose, bending both knees in, reach back for your feet or your ankles, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest and kick back and up. Try not to let the knees go too wide. And Shalabhasana, press down with the pelvis, cinch the waist in, reach everything up and back. One more breath wherever you are, really try and open the heart space. And then release. Pausing down onto your front. Give the hips another little wiggle. To finish off and neutralize the spine, slide the right knee up towards your right. Lift the right elbow and thread the left arm underneath. I'm going to turn into a twist. Doesn't matter if your right knee leaves the ground, but try to get your left and your right shoulder down to the mat. You could use your left hand to lengthen the right side waist. And slowly coming back over onto your front, bringing the right arm over, unthread the left arm, and then taking it to the other side. Left knee lifts up, left elbow lifts, thread your right arm through, and turning into the twist. Keeping again the left knee heavy, but it doesn't matter if it leaves the ground, and the right arm can aid the extension of the left side waist. hands, just release the twist and roll all the way onto our back. Finishing back where we started, hands over the solar plexus. Maybe knees resting together, maybe legs extended. Relaxing the abdomen now and breathing down into that space behind your hands. This energy center fires the digestive fire. This is so much power, courage, wisdom, gut instinct. During this transitional season of spring, this can be a great time to think about how well you're nourishing your body. Staying here as long as you'd like to. And when you're ready, starting to bring a little movement into the fingers and toes. Rolling the head from side to side. And then rolling over onto your favorite side. Use the opposite hand to help yourself up to sit. Sitting tall, fingertips to the ground. Inhale, take the arms up. Joining the palms together overhead, and exhale, bring the hands down through the midline. Bringing them all the way down to the solar plexus, the seat of this digestive fire. Namaste.